I am on a quest to see if dividend investing is actually worth it. Can you make good money off of it? Is there enough risk to reward ratio? We're going to talk all about that with the first video of our 2024 $1,000 dividend account challenge. So for those of you that don't know, I've split $1,000 into 10 different high yielding dividend stocks, and we are going to track their progress throughout 2024. See which ones actually make you money and were good investments for the year and which ones weren't. We're going to go over the hype of dividend investing because it's really growing in popularity to see if it actually holds up and is a good way to invest for the long term. So thank you guys for joining me. If you are interested in learning more about this challenge and seeing future episodes and want to grow your dividend portfolios as well, hit subscribe and let me know by liking the video. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. So January has been a rough month. The 1K dividend account has not been doing too hot, but for those of you that don't know, January is typically one of the worst months in the stock market. I think September is the actual worst to invest, but January and February are usually pretty bad because you have people coming off of the holiday rise that we see really often with the stock market. So it has been a little bit all over the place. I have been watching this account super closely. We're going to go over the 10 stocks and ETFs that are in it right now and why I put them in the account quickly because I have full videos out about those. If you're interested, I'll link those down below. But I don't want to spend too much time on those. We're going to talk about the dividends because it has been phenomenal lately. So ticker TSLY. We all know why I added this one. It had like a 60% dividend yield when I bought it. Pretty insane. So these were all at 100. They should all be at 100. That was the initial starting price. So TSLY did pay out a dividend of like $6, but the price did go down $20. So far, not too good with that one. ARCC is up $3. JEPQ is up $4, which I love to see. SPYI, this one surprised me a little bit. This one just is super, I mean, it's consistent. It's a monthly dividend payer. It's really good. I just put out a video on the top 3 monthly dividend paying stocks. I'm going to do a part 2 because people really like that one, and I'll link it if you guys are interested. That one will be down below as well, or in one of the end screens if you're interested. CONY has been on the coming back up. It did pay out an insane dividend of like, what was it, 12 something dollars? We'll see, but pretty insane. It did drop really heavily after that, of course. Main Street Capital is up $6. One of my favorites, one of my top 3 currently. It's just been killing it. Okay, 3M. So I added this one because it is an older style of dividend investing. Definitely, I mean, it's a dividend king. It's been paying dividends for like 60 years, which is phenomenal. But I want to see how these ones compare to the new like covered call ETFs and stocks like Main Street Capital and ARCC, the more new age of dividend investors, because we are different than the past generations have been. You know, when it comes to retirement investing, we're younger, we like riskier stocks with higher yield potentials. And so I'm curious to see how 3M and LEG do because those are both dividend kings. Vici is the opposite, super new since like 2017, high yielding REIT with a bunch of properties all over the Las Vegas Strip and some golf courses, resorts. So really interesting one there. I hadn't really heard about it, but I did some research and it seems like it could be a home run like Realty Income was initially. And then MPW beaten down. It came up yesterday a bit and then sold off again. But really disappointing with MPW so far. Now I wonder if this is the time to buy in, which I've been saying that every time it drops like 10, 20%. But it is down 35% and it's hideous. The yield is through the roof. I'm not sure if they're going to do a cut. I'm not sure what they're going to do. For those of you that don't know what happened, Medical Properties this is a trust. It's a REIT, and they own a bunch of hospitals. And one of their main tenants that is in like 25% of their hospitals. So it's a huge portion of their yearly revenue they're not paying. And they came out saying they're not going to be able to pay, and they're not even paying like the minimums on what they're supposed to be paying. So it's just a huge mess, and I'm not sure what MPW is going to do. They did put out a video saying like we are a strong company, we know what we're going to do, we have a hard path ahead of us, but we'll be able to do it, stuff like that. So it was actually a decent video. But as we can see on the 3-month chart, we started at this $1,000 mark, and it did go up. We were positive by $26, which is insane. That was all price appreciation, and then boom, immediately it dropped. This was the CONY and TSLY. They both paid out dividends and then dropped heavily the next day, and since then it's just been falling. So I'm curious to see how it does, but what we're going to do now is we're going to jump over to the dividend tracker, and we're going to actually see what paid out what dividends and see if our theory is true that dividend investing is the best way to make money in the stock market. So one thing that I decided to do that's new compared to last year with the dividend challenge is I'm using the dividend tracker, dividendtracker.com. I'm using their free version. There is a paid version. Yes, I could have purchased the paid version, but I already bought $1,000 of stocks that people on YouTube and TikTok said were good ideas. So I think I've put enough money on the line. Maybe I'll buy it. I don't know. Don't push me on that. But the free version gives me everything that I need for the challenge, and it's really, really interesting. I never thought about using something like this, but it would be really nice for my actual, like my Roth account, to track exactly where the money's going. So it has been really useful so far, and check this out. It gives us all the data that we're looking at right off the bat. The yield of the portfolio, so I put all of the money in. It started off at 1,000 and it has come down quite a bit, but the yield is 28.71%. That's the total, that's the median yield for the account. Now, that of course is because we have some insane ETFs in here that are yielding over 100%. But yield on cost, 26%. February income is anticipated or expected to be 1873. Now our annual income is $264, which is insane. We're making 20. I put a monthly goal of $20 a month, and we're doing better than that, which is wild. $20 a month from $1,000. And so so far the challenge has been phenomenal. But of course, we are beaten down $80. I'm curious to see how everything performs January. The market was really bad in January, I'll be honest. I don't even think it was just the dividend stocks. All of my stocks were down pretty heavily except for Amazon, which, oh my gosh, Amazon's been doing insane. But we're going to talk about this. We can see diversification. Industrials is 10% of the portfolio. And then MISC, this is other, which I believe is the covered call ETFs. So CONY, TSLY, SPYI. Financial services, so BDCs, I believe. Real estate, all of our REITs that are in there. And consumer cyclical, which is 88, which I don't even know what that is. Consumer cyclical. I guess we will see. But one of the cool things with Dividend Tracker, you have a watch list, which you can actually put a bunch of different things in, and it will just watch them for you. It tells you their ex-dividend date. So if you're going to use this, you can track when you should buy into a stock to get the best dividend, stuff like that. We're going to go to our payout calendar. One of the coolest things that I've seen. So we are in the month of February now. I'm a day behind, but I did record all of this, and then the audio got like a bug, and so it didn't work. So I'm re-recording it, so I hope you guys enjoy it for a second time. It actually is more fun recording it a second time because I know exactly what I'm going to say. But we can see for January, we've had some really high dividends. So this is just so cool. And one thing that I think would be sweet, and I've seen people do this, is you can make a dividend account that pays you weekly based off of, it's a lot of math and there's full videos on it. And you probably have to buy some dividend stocks that aren't so great, but honestly, getting a dividend every week would be insane. But so for the first week, we had JEPQ coming in with a 79-cent dividend and Vici coming in with $1.30, which is insane. So both those had $100 in, and Vici paid out $1.30. On that rate, it's going to be a really nice yield of like 13%. CONY, TSLY, yep, 11.52 and 4.94. So some really strong dividends from the Yield Max funds. Leg paid us $1.75, which is also pretty phenomenal. But Leg is not monthly. That's why Leg is so high. That is quarterly. So it is a little bit lower, but still not bad. Main Street Capital, 65 cents, which is another monthly payer. Love it. That was in the other video. MPW paid us $3. Is MPW monthly? No, it can't be. That'd be insane. I guess it could because the price has been dropping. So it might be a monthly payer. REITs usually are. We have SPYI, which came in. Oh, it tells me. That is sweet. No, Medical Properties Trust is monthly. I'm so dumb. See, I told you I was new with this. I told you guys. You didn't believe me? You might have believed me. SPYI, $1.02. Killing it. This was the first dividend the account got, actually, because we got one late in December. I don't even know how we got it because I bought it really early, so we're gonna have a little bit of fumbled data with that, but oh well. So we can scroll down, we can see that it's all paid in US currencies, of course, and we can see when it was paid and what is expected to be paid. So the reason that the chart looks like this, for those of you that haven't had a lot of dividend history, when we have monthly payers, it's going to be consistent. If we had only monthly paying stocks, it'd be probably the same thing the entire time. Because we have different quarterly paying dividend stocks, it's going to mess it up a little bit. Because so like in January, we had $22 because Leg paid out and PW paid out. So that was extra income on top of just the monthly. So it looks like our monthly dividend income is about $18, and then it shifts depending on what other stocks are paying out. which I really like to see. It's just really interesting to track, and we can see exactly when everything is paying out. We'll have 2 nice payers for February, but we're going to go over those in February. Now, I am genuinely curious to see how this whole thing performs. So far, we are beaten down by $80, but if it just traded sideways, I would be ecstatic because we'd be getting 25% of our money, and it would just be trading sideways. You don't even need price appreciation. And even though like Main Street Capital has some growth to it, and a few others too, you don't even need it. It could just be a bonus. I'm curious to see how this thing looks with special dividends too, because Main Street Capital does pay out a bunch of special dividends. And so genuinely, I really want to see how this year goes, because last year was so messy. The stock market was pretty ugly. Some sectors did well, but all in all, dividends did not do too great. And we have REITs that are extremely sold off. So with REITs coming back, if we see rate drops from the Fed in 2024, I think this account could do extremely well, because we do have 2 REITs. Yeah, we have Realty Income, we have MPW, which probably won't do well either way. But there's some real potential in the REIT market overall. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It's just a quick January update. If you want to follow the rest of this process, subscribe and like the video. It lets me know you guys enjoy this kind of content. It's really fun for me either way, but it is nice to know feedback. If there's something you don't like or something you think I should be doing, please let me know in the comments. I promise you won't hurt my feelings. I grew up with older sisters. There's not much you could say that would really bother me. But I do appreciate you guys for watching the video, and I hope to see you in the next one.